Scion, created to rid the world of its impurities by swallowing them within himself, in opposition to Nabrial's the Majestic, Scion of Light. The world, however, was more filled with impurity and corruption than even the gods dared imagine, and having swallowed it all, the once beautiful Cúchulainn was transformed into a hideous thing, a deity of filth. And so did he turn against his creators. Wherever his feet should fall, there all life withers to dust.
Hey guys, my name is Haku. Welcome to my channel. Today we are playing Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age, and we're going to run through how to get the Esper Cúchulainn, the Impure. I am playing this game on PC, and I have a lot of aesthetic mods installed, along with some quality of life mods to improve my playing experience. Despite having mods like the Insurgent packs installed, I have not enabled anything that change how the game plays. The only mods enabled on these Insurgent mods are quality of life ones, and of course camera controls. So even if my game looks a bit different, our experience will still be largely the same. You can check out the Google Docs link down in the description below to see what mods I'm using. Please don't forget to support the modders and show them some love. Alright, let's get into the video. Cúchulainn is what I consider to be FF12's first real boss fight. He is quite a formidable opponent and will decimate an unprepared party, even if you are particularly high level. Luckily, you can't just run into him accidentally, as there are quite a few prerequisites that need to be fulfilled in order to spawn the Esper.
The gods are toying with us.
Because of the nature of getting this boss fight to appear, this video will be much longer than the previous one, as there are a lot of steps that need to be followed in order to fight Cúchulainn.
Dangerous though it be, what we need now is power. Should we declare Dalmasca free without the means to defend our claim, the Empire would crush us.
Now, let's talk prerequisites. In order to fight him, you first need to complete 2 hunts. Waterway Haunting for the Wraith, and Lost in the Pudding for the White Moose. Let's start with the Wraith. You can face the Wraith right after you escape the Barheim passage and after Bosch joins your party. Once you're back in the Dalmasca Estersand, head straight back to Rabanastre.
To think Dalmascan air could taste so sweet.
Once there, speak to the Moogle Hurdy and teleport to the Sand Sea. Enter the tavern and check the notice board. Accept the hunt for the Wraith. This is where you can find the petitioner Milha. Before going to meet her, head to Yamora's Gambits and purchase what gambits you can. Prioritize getting Self, MP, less than 10%, Ally, status equals knockout, and foe, flying. Next, advance the story by heading to Miguelos and speaking to Kites.
Vaughn, is it really you? I heard you got took off to Nalbina.
The Imperials will need more than a dungeon to stop me.
Be sure to purchase Phoenix Downs first. Head down into Lowtown and speak to the petitioner to accept the hunt. Again, before you pursue the Wraith, advance the story by speaking to Old Dallin. Next, find Balzac for a scene with Bosch.
Some things never change, do they?
With Bosch back in your party, you are not quite ready to face the Wraith yet. Head back up to the Sand Sea for a scene.
Make yourselves ready. We leave soon.
As Balthier just said, make yourself ready. Now that you have both Balthier and Fran in your team, you are ready to hunt the Wraith down. But first, if you need to, purchase some armor from Panamis' Protectives, or some weapons from Amal's Weaponry. Make sure you assign a job to Bosch and use up your license points. Once ready, head back into Lowtown and into the Garamses Waterway. The Wraith is right in the next room. No strategy is required for this fight. Just make sure you are using your best equipment and have a healer. Don't worry about Doom. The fight will be over before Doom can do anything to you. Once the hunt is over, return to Milha to report the hunt, receive your reward, and see a short comical scene. Next is the White Moose. You won't be able to accept this hunt until after Fran blows up the Ifrit. That's a joke, of course. Once you are back in Rabanastre, head to the Sandsea, check the notice board, and accept the hunt. Head to Westgate and speak to Sorbet to accept the hunt. You can tackle this hunt immediately, but once again, I recommend waiting until much later before going after this mark. Let's be a Balthier, not an Ash.
First things first. You're eager to be on your way, I know, but we should see that we're prepared before setting out.
I made my resolve 2 years ago. I swore to overcome any hardship I may face.
Man cannot live by resolve alone, Princess.
Advance the storyline until you reach Mount Ber-Omises, obtain Matthias the Corrupt, and defeat Judge Bergen. You can then head to the teleport crystal and teleport back to Rabanastre. White Moose will need a little bit of preparation. Make sure you have a main damage dealer, a red mage, and a black mage in the party. Your damage dealer does not need any specific gambits. Both your black mage and red mage should have a Fire Gambit set up to target foes that are weak to fire. This does not need to be on a separate loadout. Just add it to your main loadout for now and you can delete it after the hunt is over. Of course, make sure your red mage has Cura and Curaga Gambit set up. All party members must have a Remedy and Phoenix Down Gambit set up. Don't forget to use your license points. For equipment, just make sure you have the best equipment you have at that moment. When ready, head down into Lowtown and into the Garamses Waterway. Your mark is located in the West Sluice Control. From the Overflow Cloaca, head into the Central Waterway Control and head west from there into the number 10 channel. Once there, make sure you clear out the Marlboro Overkings and heal up before heading down to face the White Moose. As you can see, it hits pretty hard for a low-level hunt. You may have to do some manual commands for this fight. Just make sure to keep the pressure up and heal when necessary. Once the White Moose is slain, you will receive a broken key. Take it back to Sorbet in Westgate Rabanastre. Hand over the key to receive your reward and view yet another comical scene. You will now also be in possession of the Sluice Gate key. This will allow you to control the water levels in the Garamsys waterway. Again, you could go after Cúchulainn right after this, but just keep in mind that this Esper is no pushover. I suggest waiting until you have an average party level of 40. So head out, advance the story, and level up until you are ready. Now, this is where the real quest begins. Let's start with preparations. Start your side quest off in the central waterway control of the Garamsys waterway. First off, your party must consist of a damage dealer, a black mage, and a white mage. Let's start with equipment before going into gambits. The most important pieces you will need are 3 black belts to protect against disable and immobilize. Cúchulainn will constantly deplete your HP for the entire fight, and to make matters worse, it stacks on top of poison and sap. He likes to cast Invert, which switches your HP and MP. This is not as bad as it may seem, since it refills your white mage and black mage's MP bars, allowing for more casting. He also likes to cast Sloga, and to add to the experience, Cúchulainn will be accompanied by foo bars that hit hard and can cause confusion. Your black mage's primary focus will be to deal with these little annoyances. Now's a good time to talk about gambits. Starting with the black mage, the main gambit to set up here is a Firaga gambit to target undead foes. Again, this will target the foo bars and hits any other enemy within range, including Cúchulainn. Then have an attack gambit set up for when the foo bars have been dealt with. Next is your white mage, whose primary focus is, of course, to heal. Important gambits include Cura for AoE healing, Curaga for great single target heals, Isuna to remove ailments, Raise to revive fallen party members, Dispel to debuff the boss, and then Attack Gambit for when we're all topped off. So yes, everything is important for your white mage. Have these gambits on a separate loadout for your black and white mage. Your main damage dealer only needs to have an attack gambit focused on hammering down on Cúchulainn. So basically, just your main loadout with no changes. Then, both your damage dealer and black mage need to have Phoenix Downs and Remedy gambits in place. Now that you have all that set up, let's set off. To be fully transparent and to avoid confusion, I won't be cutting anything out of this segment. This way, you won't miss a beat. Just do as I do. Step 1. At the central waterway control, begin by closing the number 10 and number 3 controls. Next, head into the number 3 Cloaca Spur. Close the number 1 south waterway control. Then return to the central waterway control. Open the number 10 and number 3 controls. Close the number 11 and number 4 controls. Head into the number 4 Cloaca Spur. Close the number 1 north waterway control. Return to the central waterway control, but before you do, head down the stairs to get the Achilles Technic in a one-time guaranteed chest. Note, if you are in the Garamseth waterway for more than 8 minutes, the rare game Drowned will spawn in this area. As you can see, it spawned for me. So it's up to you if you want to fight this monster now or not. Moving forward, once at the central waterway control, open the number 11 control. Then close the number 3 control. Next, save your game, and then head into the number 1 cloaca. Cúchulainn will be waiting at the bottom of the level. Alright, before heading down, make sure you switch your gambit loadouts for your black and white mage. Once ready, proceed. I will let the battle play out in full as usual. The first thing that should happen is your white mage should dispel any buffs Cúchulainn has. Your damage dealer should start wailing on him. And then as soon as the foo bars appear, your black mage should be casting Firaga. Some manual controls will be needed here. Once you see your black mage or any other party members being harassed by the foo bars, switch to that character to move around and spread out the foo bars. Once the foo bars are dealt with, focus all of your energy on Cúchulainn. Switch leaders whenever you feel like you have to. At 20% health, Cúchulainn will take significantly less damage and becomes increasingly difficult to defeat. Before this happens, try to finish him off with a quickening chain.
must endure.
No holding back!
I must endure.
If you failed to do so like I did, continue to put the pressure up and heal as often as possible. You will want to finish him off ASAP, because the longer the battle goes on, the greater the likelihood that you will end up with a game over screen. Now that you have Cúchulainn, you can assign him to someone on your license board. I highly suggest assigning him to your red mage. This will give that job access to Ga level magic. Cúchulainn's ultimate move is Blight, which is an AoE non-elemental attack. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little late to be doing these types of videos, but I've always wanted to do these. It is simply a passion project. If you want a written guide, link below is the guide I use from GameFAQs user Bobbert WABC. Again, don't forget to support him and the modders, and I'll see you guys in the next video, where we will take on Exodus, the Judge style.